I am going to do a video on why I do property patrols and why I do them. I've done a video on this before. I'm going to try to keep this one a little shorter. I tend to ramble. If you've noticed in my videos, I can just ramble. Anyway, the reason why I do them is, you know, there's an 80-acre family property, and I have complete access to it 24 hours a day, anytime I want. Actually have some land out there, 10 acres of that is mine, but I have complete access to complete 80 acres, and it's, if you've seen in the videos, it's got a creek line, it's got some open fields, some ponds. I enjoy doing these property patrol videos, one, because I like to get out in just the nature, you know, and it's a nice piece of land, and just there's different, you know, like I said, it's got a creek line, so it's got trees and rocks and the whole cool stuff, and then it's got some open fields, you know, so it's kind of got a mix, you know, of both. I personally kind of wish I had more trees on it, but a lot of it's farmland. You know, there's a couple of fields that were farmland at one time. You know, one field is still used as farming, but you know, it was, over the years it's had cattle and horses and pigs and things on it. Just some cows now. But the reason why I do the property patrols is, one, is that it's private property, you know, so it belongs to the family, and it, you know, don't want any trespassing over there. There's no trespassing. So, but people have trespassed on it, and here in Oklahoma, you know, like across the country, really, you know, there's a drug problem. So, and people around here like to do meth. That's their thing, is meth. So people are thieves, and people go out and manufacture the stuff in their sheds and wherever they do it at, you know. But sometimes people will do it on other people's property. And, you know, like a lot of properties, probably in a lot of states, that if you are caught illegally manufacturing drugs or growing weed, even if it's legal, if you have a medical card like it is here in Oklahoma, you know, you can get your land seized. They can seize that stuff, you know, and say, oh no, you know, you acquired this with drug money and stuff. So they would seize it, and you could lose it. Well, I'm not about to let that happen because some damn meth head wants to make some meth and, you know, poison his brain and sell it, try to make a little money. You know, you're going to do that, you do it on your side of the fence, buddy, you know. And since those people are also thieves, you kind of want to keep an eye on your property and stuff like that. Plus, poachers, people coming over wanting to hunt, things like that don't have permission. They, you know, there have been people who had permission to hunt on that property, which is fine, and all that. But also, one of the other reasons I go out there too, when I'm out there looking for that stuff, you know, when you see my videos of property patrols, you're actually only seeing just little pieces of me walking around in the woods and stuff and just kind of looking and listening, which majority of the time I go out there, I'm not even filming that of it. I'm actually out there patrolling the property, looking, and once in a while I'll stop and I'll take a little piece of video of it and everything and bring you along, show you kind of what I do and everything like that. I enjoy that, and I hope you enjoy it too. But part of the reason is that property is one of the main places I plan on going if the shit goes down. We're talking grid down, whatever. That's where I'm going, to get out of a town, get out of, you know, I have access to that property, get out of a town. That way I could go out there. There's gardens and there's fruit trees and all kinds of stuff out there to be able to try to sustain ourselves as long as possible, which those will be expanded in that time as well. So, but part of the reason that, since that's part of the reason I'm doing this is that I go out there and I look, because in those type of situations, if a grid down, shit hits the fan scenario, you want to be able to secure your area as best as possible, because it won't just be me out there doing this. It'll be others that are be armed, so it's not going to be just me alone. When you see me do property patrols, it's just me out there, but there'll be other people there as well, like, you know, a few others, group, you know, type of thing, that are armed. Now, my eye is just, so when I'm out there, I'm actually also looking at like fighting positions, cover and concealment areas, points of observation where there's a place that I could sit right here and be concealed and still like take a look around and be able to see. And like down there at the creek line, there's water down there, so it's a resource. It's a natural spring, so you know, I'd be able to you know, observe from that area, listen, sit, watch, and then, like I said, you know, fighting positions, you know, from different directions. So whichever way somebody's coming, whether, you know, all four directions, that way I'll have ideas and places where I think I can go and be protected and have an advantage as much as I can. And that also includes the open fields, because there's not just a flat field. There's like crevices and holes, and, you know, kind of back down where I go shooting. Part of the time it's back behind a pond, so it's down in there. I call it the bowl, because it's just kind of a big open area that goes down, comes up, so it's like a hole basically that's, you know, several hundred yards wide. So, and it's got a lot of trees and just different parts where, you know, and plus up there by where the farmhouse is, you know, the barns and things like that, where I can see, you know, points of, you know, places where I can, you know, observe, fend off at a distance if I have to, things like that. Because that's the point. It's kind of, if you see somebody coming, and that's a good thing about that place, you know, is that it's a pretty wide open area. I mean, if you could stand in the middle of it, you know, you can see, you know, the shortest distance that you can see clearly is about a quarter mile. About a quarter mile, clearly shortest distance. Everything else you can probably see easily a mile around, all the way around. Fields, you know, all that stuff. So it's wide open. So, you know, places, you know, you look for places where I can observe, I can, you know, if it comes down to it, detour the, you know, the oppressor, the invader, things like that, you know, detour them, and, you know, God forbid that, you know, it goes down further than that, you know. And that's, you know, the reason I look for those places is because at a distance, and they being so wide open, they can see me too. So that way I know where I can get, where I can be, how I can maneuver, how I can get to places without being seen as much as possible, get to a good place where I can observe and be concealed and covered and have a clear line of fire if I need to, things like that. So that's kind of, you know, that's kind of why I do it. You know, it's not just going out there looking for, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm looking for human trespassing, but I'm also, you know, checking animal sign, looking for footprints, trails, you know, rabbit holes, things like that, you know, because deer and rabbit and some stuff like that in the ponds that are out there, there's food out there. So, and I'm also, you know, observing the coyotes and things like that. If I see a coyote, as much as I don't like just killing things, I'll shoot a coyote because they eat the deer, and the deer is a resource that I can eat, you know. So, and to be able to feed my family and things like that in a time of crisis with some natural game, which that stuff will dry up really quick in a total grid down situation. I want to be able to have that resource and have it to be able to, sustain us for as long as possible without the coyotes eating it all. There's a shit ton of coyotes out there. So, and actually over Thanksgiving, on one of my videos, I mentioned that there's a bobcat out there. I saw a bobcat cross in front of the field up by the house. I happened to look out the window and see this cat going across, and he was probably about that big and about that tall. He's a pretty good size one. So, and he kind of looked rough. So he looked like he'd been around a while. So, but I know there's some out there. I've seen their prints, but I've never actually physically seen one on that property in my entire life that I've been out there, and I grew up out there also. So, but I see every time I go out there, even though I've grown up out there, as a kid and going down there and stuff like that, I always see something different. I see something different. Either there'll be, trees down or something that I'm like, oh, well, that's pretty cool, just little areas that I, didn't really explore that much and things like that. But anyway, that's why I do it, and that's kind of what my explanation of why I do it. And like I said, it's to look for trespassers. You want to keep them off the land. You want to keep drugs out of there, keep the trash out, and also, like I said, observing, for fighting positions, observing positions, things like that throughout the whole property, of from the fields to the creek line, all that stuff, to be able to have places to sit and observe if I need to sit, stand, watch, things like that, and have places of cover if I need be, and be able to do it at all different directions, because you never know what direction somebody's going to come from if that goes down like that. So anyway, that's kind of my explanation and the reason why I do it. Plus, I just enjoy doing it, getting out there and just walking around and all that stuff. And I like doing it in different types of weather. I prefer it when it's cooler and even winter time and the fall. But I get out there when it's hot too, and that's part of it, because you never know how long you're going to be out there, how long you're going to be in a grid down situation, and it may be a permanent thing, so you're going to be doing this in all types of weather. And as I'm getting older, the hot is getting hotter and the cold is getting colder, but I enjoy it still, and you got to do it, man. You got to do it. So anyway, that's it. That's my reason, and I hope that explains kind of what I do and why I do it. If I did it, like I said, I did a video on it like a while back, like maybe a couple years ago, kind of an update video of it. So like the newer subscribers and things like that come along, that's come since, that explains kind of why I do it. And it's multiple reasons. It's multiple reasons. So I hope that covers most of it, kind of like that. So also gives me a chance to like practice some of my patrolling techniques I'm learning, things like that. So anyway, that's really it. That's my video. Traffic is getting crazy. Keep it heavy.